Welcome to the Sewing Street tutorial channel on YouTube. I'm Sam Sabido and I'm a crochet designer. There are lots of other craft tutorials that you can watch on our YouTube channel, so please do subscribe to the Sewing Street tutorial channel to watch them. I'm going to show you how to make a super cute pumpkin. He's made using the amigurumi technique and you can make it with any yarn. If you use a smaller yarn, for example a double knit or a 4-ply, your pumpkin will come out smaller. I've got some here that I made before in double knit, but I'm going to work with chunky. So I've got some chunky orange yarn, some chunky green yarn. I've got a 6mm hook. So my wrapper told me to use a 10mm hook for this yarn, but I'm going smaller to make it tighter. I've got a stitch marker, some toy stuffing, scissors, and a needle. It's going to be made using the amigurumi technique, and you can find lots more tutorials about this technique on the channel. So you're going to start with a magic ring. Like so. And you're going to put 6 double crochets in that ring. And then pull the tail to tighten it. And mark that final stitch with a stitch marker. For round 2, you're making 2 double crochets in every stitch. Which will give you a total of 12 at the end of this round. And then for the third round, you're doing 1 double crochet in the first and 2 in the next, and that's your pattern. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets all the way around. Finally 2 in the last, and that's going to give you a total of 18. So that's exactly the same as with the Brussels and the strawberry. And then replace the stitch marker in that final stitch. So for round 4, you do 1 in each of the next 2, and then 2 in the following. So your pattern is to do 1 in one, 1 in the next, 2 in the following, all the way around. Which gives you 24, and then you replace the stitch marker. So for the next round is something I haven't done before. It's continuing the increase. So to continue the increase, for round 5, you're going to do 1 into each of the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the following. 1, 2, both in the same stitch. And that's your repeat. 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and then 2 in the following. And this adds another 6 stitches, so it takes you up to 30. 2 in the final, and then we'll place a stitch marker, and that's a total of 30. That was round 5. So for round 6, they're doing 1 double in each of the next 4 and then 2 in the following. So instead of 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 singles. So 1 double crochet into each of the first 4. Oops, and then 2 in the following. And then 1 into each of the next 4 and 2 in the following. And that's the repeat all the way around. And that's going to give a total of 36. So this is just how, if you continue on with the amigurumi technique, you get a bigger circle that's flat. Place a stitch marker, and there'll be 36 at the end of this round. And then I'm going to start rounds where I've got 1 in every. So round 7, make 1 double crochet in every stitch around, and it will start to take its 3-dimensional shape. So that's round 7, and that's 1 in every. Place the stitch marker. This is the right side, so make sure it's cupping up with the right side on the outside and the tail on the inside. Then round 8, 1 in every. So at the end of round 11, I've got 36 stitches still. Round 12, we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 4, and then double crochet 2 together across the next 2. And that's the pattern. 1 into each of the next 4, and then double crochet 2 together, so a decrease across the next 2. And that will take us back down to 30 stitches on this round. At the end of this round, we've got 30 stitches. Place a stitch marker. Round 13, you're going to make 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 and then do your decrease. So 1 single into the first, 1 in the next, 1 in the following, 1 into each of the first 3, and then decrease across the next 2. So double crochet 2 together across the next 2. 1 into each of the next 3. And then a decrease. See it starting to come into a sort of ball shape. And that should take them down to 24 stitches at the end of the round. So then if it's only 2 more rounds left, for round 14 you're going to do 1 into each of the next 2, and then a decrease across the following 2, double crochet 2 together, 1 in each of the next 2, double crochet 2 together. Keep that all the way around. And that is going to take them down to 18. And then round 15 is going to be 1 double crochet and then the decrease. And that's the repeat. 1 double crochet and then decrease, double crochet 2 together across the next 2. Make 1 double crochet in the first, double crochet 2 together. And that will take them to 18. Right, so now they're going to stuff it. So now it's stuffed, and now you're going to decrease all the way around. So double crochet 2 together all the way around, which will reduce it to 6 stitches. Careful about the stuffing trying to get in the way. So fasten off leaving a really long tail, maybe about even up to 1 metre. And then put it onto a yarn needle and weave it in and out to fasten up the hole. So to make the sections, you've got this long tail, put it up, over and to the top of your pumpkin, which is where your magic ring was, and push your needle all the way through there. Might have to use some force, and back out the bottom. Find a way through. It will come in a minute, there we go. And pull. And when you're pulling, put it tight so it pulls the whole thing in and makes a section. I'm going to make 6 sections, so push it back down through the middle, back out the bottom, pull it again, and you can repeat that all the way around. So then you have the shape of your pumpkin, and then you just weave in your ends, and I like to do mine on the bottom, it's not quite so neat there. So to make the stalk, you're going to chain 7, and make a double crochet in the second chain from the hook and every chain along. And that will give you 6 double crochets in a row. So I've made 6 double crochets, fasten off, leaving a tail long enough to sew it to the top of the pumpkin. So I sewn on the stalk, and here it is.